Hello Tech 2. This is a video about how to basically start a project and set up the file. We are going to somewhat start the floor plan of the Perry residence. We're going to put some grids in, we're going to put some dimensions in, we're going to put some windows in, and we're going to make a window schedule. So the file that I'm going to be referencing, so this is exactly what we did in class this week, is the Perry residence here. So we're going to make a 24 by 36 inch document set, and we're going to essentially do our best to recreate this entire document set, but in Revit. So we went through this document in class, but the page that I really want to focus on for this lecture is this one. So what I'd like to do is start this floor plan. I'd like to also put in some windows and then create something just like this window schedule. Now, we're not going to create the exact windows that are in this project for this demonstration, but you'll have to do that for your file. I'm just going to show you how to sort of put windows in, make different sizes, and then start a window schedule. And make a window schedule say exactly what you want it to say. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do just to set up, first off, big thanks to, I'm going to try the name Samanvitha, or we'll say Sam. She helped me get this highlight on here so you guys can all see it. So you should thank her. In fact, I did this cool, now I can just turn it off. I can do this. I can do a lot of things with this. I can do settings. I can change the size. I can change the color. This is really cool. So thank you very much. I'm going to use it all the time. Okay, the first thing I want to do before I get into the file and start setting up the file, bringing in my title block and things like that, is I'm just going to, just so I have it on hand, I'm just going to write down the big dimensions around this whole exterior wall right here. So what I mean is just the overall. So it looks like I have 38 foot 1.5 for the top. So I'm just going to write these down. 38 foot 1.5 inches. I'm going to do this one here, which I believe is 28 foot 6 3/4. Yep, that's 28 foot 6 3/4. And then I have, this is 2 foot 9 3/4 down. This corner down here, right here. Okay, and then this corner from this corner is 9 foot 11 1/4. And then really I just go back around to the start. So I wanted to show that, I wanted to get these dimensions written down so I don't have to keep going back and forth between this PDF and the and Revit, at least as much as I can. Okay, and aside from sort of starting to create those walls, we're also going to start creating this window schedule. Okay, but first things first is let's just sort of set up the file. All right, so here is my Revit interface. First thing I want to do is just start a new project using a new default template. If you need the default template, you can look in the general channel on Teams. I've saved it there. Now, to access the new default template, we have to go up to Models. We go to New, not Open, New. All right, now I'm going to browse for it. You can go to wherever you have saved it, or if you know where it lives. Mine's sort of in a convoluted place, so just ignore me looking for it here. Program data. Okay, isn't this ridiculous? Okay, Here it is, default template right there. That's the one. I'm going to hit open and OK. So this is going to start the file. All right. The first thing I want to do is just save this. So I'm going to do file, save as, project, put on the desktop. And I'm going to call this Kevin Kinney Perry Residence V01 and save. Okay. So I've got the project started. I can see that the name changed up here, so I know that I've saved it. I put a V01 after in case I want to version off later. So maybe I just want to make a big change, and before I do the big change, I'm just going to call it version 2 in case I got to come back to version 1. All right, so let's look over here. So I have a level 1 floor plan, I have a level 2, I have a site, I have some ceiling plans and some elevations. Those are all sort of built into this file. Now, for our drawing set here, we're really, if I start from the beginning, right, we have our title page, first floor plan, first floor reflected ceiling plan, interior elevations, first floor finish plan, and then we have a FF&E plan, fixtures, furniture, and equipment, and a FF&E schedule. And then there's nothing more. So everything we're doing on this residence is on level 1. So I really don't need a level 2. Okay, so I'm going to let's go to the south elevation so we can see these levels. So what we have here is a level 1 and a level 2. We don't need a level 2, so let's just call this roof. You could call it whatever you want, but we're going to use, we're never going to have like a roof floor plan or a roof plan or anything like that. So we can just call it roof. You know what? You could even call it top if you wanted to. 10 feet is okay because in the reflected ceiling plan, I noticed that all of the heights of the ceiling are about 9 feet. So we can just have the top sort of datum at 10 feet and that would be fine. Okay, so we have level 1 and we have roof. Okay, I changed it here and I can see it changed it over here. So I'm going to click on site and I'm going to right click and I'm going to delete it because I don't need that right now. I will eventually need ceiling plans, but I'm just going to delete them right now and I'll create them as I need them. Delete. Now, technically, we don't even have any exterior building elevations in this. So you could delete those, but let's just leave them for now because they are handy views to have. We might need them later, but they're not really going to be used in any of our sheets. Okay, so let's change the name of our level 1 floor plan. I'm just going to right click and do rename, and let's call it all caps, level 1 floor plan. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter. You're going to get this. Now, I don't want to change the name of this level to level 1 floor plan. That's what it's asking me. It's saying, do you want to do that? And I'm going to say no, because all I want to do is change the name of the view, not the actual datum level. So I'm going to hit no here. So there it is, level 1 floor plan. I'm just going to rename roof to all caps just so I can be consistent. And I'm going to say no here again. So this can say roof here and how it's written, and this can say level 1 how it's written, separate from the names of my views. Level 1 floor plan view and this roof view, which I'm really not going to use. Okay, so far so good. All right. In fact, I'm going to delete this roof floor plan now that I think about it, because I don't need that plan, but I do want this datum still in here, which is good to have. So notice when I deleted it, this turned black. So that just means I don't have a view for this particular level, which we don't need. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so do me a favor here now. Right click on views over here and go to browser organization. Let's change it to discipline and hit OK. All right, this is just a different way to organize your browser. Now everything is sort of bundled under architectural, and that's primarily what we're concerned with. So let's just leave it like that. That looks good. All right, let's set up our first sheet. So you are going to need your title block assignment. I have one that I'm using from a different class, but it's the same as yours, a 24 by 36. So let's make our first sheet, and we're really going to make this one, the Perry Residence. Let's call it A2 point. Oh, this is a reflected ceiling plan. Let's do this one. We can call it A1.0. You can plug in some of this information into your title block. You're going to have to do it at some point during this project. You could do it now, or you could do it later. Sorry about the barking. That's my dog, Wendell. He just doesn't, he's just a nervous wreck, literally all the time. Okay, so back to Revit. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to deal with him. Okay, I sent him upstairs so he can bark up there. Okay, now I'm going to go up to View, and I'm going to go to Sheet. Now, if I do that, I notice my title block is not loaded in here. Now, you could click Load and find it there. Then you'll see it on the list. Or you can do Insert, Load Family, navigate to where your title block is. So in this case, I'm going to do this one that I have located under downloads. There it is. This one. Okay, I'm going to hit open. So it loaded into the project, but it looks like nothing happened here, but I know I loaded it into the project. So now I'm going to go up to View, Sheet. Now I see it on my list here, and I'm going to hit OK. Okay, so this particular title block has the outskirts of the title block as an invisible line. I'm actually going to just double click on it in here and change that real quick. So I'm going to select these lines. It's not good to have the outer part invisible, because then you can't see it. You don't really know where to put things. So now I'm going to hit Load into Project, and I'm going to say Overwrite Existing, and it updated for me. Okay, that looks good. Let's call this sheet, what was that number again? A1.0, and we'll call it first. Let's call it Level 1 Floor Plan. This says first level floor plan. I'm just going to call it Level 1 Floor Plan. So I'm going to change this to A1.0, and I'll call this Level 1 Floor Plan. Okay, I noticed in here that this is getting a little big, and I might want to edit that in my title block to make sure it doesn't impede down on my sheet number. So these are all little changes you'll make as you sort of are figuring out your title block and how it integrates into a project. Okay, our sheet is set up, and the drawing that would be placed on here would be this Level 1 floor plan, which we have not drawn yet. Okay, so I'm going to go into Revit. I'm going to go to the Level 1 floor plan, and I'm going to draw the rough shape of my project. So I'm going to go to Architecture, Wall. I'm going to start out with a generic 8-inch. That would be good. We can change this later. I'll even leave the location line as wall center line for now, and I'm just going to get the rough shape in. It's something like this. I'm just eyeballing it. I don't care what the dimensions are quite yet. I'm just situating my drawing somewhere in between these elevation markers. After I draw it, I'm going to select all those walls. I'm going to look over my properties. I want this wall system to go from Level 1. Instead of unconnected, I want it to go up to the roof, which is that level we're just calling the roof. Okay. So if I go to my south elevation now, I can see that all those walls, in fact, do that. They go from level 1 up to the roof now. Now, just an FYI, no matter where my roof is, if I move it up, those levels will stay connected to it. Those walls will stay connected to it. Okay, so now we need to dimension this properly. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is let's grab this wall, and we get our temporary dimension down here. Now, I know that from here to here, it's 38 foot 1.5 inches. So I'm going to just click and hold this little button and drag that dimension string over here. Okay, center to center is 51 inches. I'm going to just click on this till I toggles through this to get to the, if you see, I just keep clicking, it'll toggle through different points of the wall. I want the exterior of the wall. Do the same here. I want the exterior. And I'm going to change this to 38 foot 1.5 inches. Enter. Okay. Because this had to move over so much, it's sort of a wall sort of went on itself and sort of disappeared. We can just say delete element. That's fine. I'll drag this one over because I know it has to be somewhere over here and I can add a wall later. So I know this dimension's good. So now I'm going to click on this wall. I'm going to right click and say create similar. And I'm just going to add this wall back in. Now I know the length of this wall needs to be 28 foot 6 3/4. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Got my dimension string. Toggle through so these are on the exterior of the wall. And I'll write that in 28 foot 6.75 inches. Okay, there we go. Then I need this to be 2 foot 9 inches down. So this corner to this corner, 2 foot 9 3/4 down. So 2 foot 9.75 inches. There we go. Now you'll notice that I didn't want to grab this one because I already set this dimension. I don't want to screw that up. Now from this corner to this corner, I need it to be 9 foot 11 1/4. So I'm just going to position this where I need it. Okay, I'm close here. 9 foot 11.25 inches. And there we go. So this is the outskirt of my wall. That looks really good. All right, now I'm going to add some grid lines in. All right, I know there's no grid lines in our drawing here, and that's fine, but I want to add some in just so you can kind of get a sense of how they're used. I'm going to put a horizontal one here. I'm going to put a horizontal one here, a vertical one here. Oh, another horizontal one here, sorry. A vertical one here, a vertical one here, and a vertical one here. I'm just using grid lines to define the outer boundary of my house. So I'm going to go up to Architecture, Datum, Grid. I'm just going to put these in sort of the wrong location to start with. I'm not too worried. I'll place them perfectly in a moment. Just going to get them all in. Okay. A good thing to do right now is go down to the left-hand corner here, change your scale to 1/4 so these things get a little smaller. Okay. We know that our walls are in the right spot, so now what we want to do is move our grid lines to the walls. So the best way to do that is to do Modify, Align. Click on the thing, click on where you want something to go, and then click on the thing you want to go there. Okay, I want it to go here. I want 1 to go there. I want it to go here. I want 4 to go there. I want it to go here. I want 6 to go there. I want it to go here. I want 2 to go there. I want it to go here. I want 5. And I want 3 there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, I want to change these up. I'm going to just align these so they lock together. You see how these are now locked together? Okay, this one we can keep over here. Maybe we want to put the 5 out here, so I'm going to uncheck this and then check this. And this one, same thing. Maybe we want the 2 out here. I'll uncheck that one. And then I'm going to move this guy to match with 5 there. And I'll move this guy down to match with 5 there. So now these are all locked together. Okay, and I'm going to grab 6, bring that down. That's looking really nice, but they're numbered weird. So I'm going to change this one to A. This one over here, I'm going to change to B. This one, C. And this one, 1, 2, and 3. All right, that's a really nice sort of setup for our house project here. I'm going to add one dimension string between 1 and 3 just so you get a feel for it. I'm going to go to Annotate, Aligned. I'm just going to click here, here, and I'll just put it right there. Okay, so there, we have a dimension string in, we have our grid lines in, and we have our exterior wall. Now let's get our wall to have a look like this with this hatch in it. Okay, I want to make these as similar as possible. Okay, so if I click on this wall here, it's a generic 8-inch wall. Let's go edit type. Okay, here it is. Let's make our own 8-inch wall that has that hatch in it. So I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to name this wall Perry Exterior. Okay. Okay, so this is the Perry Residence exterior wall. So now if I go into structure and hit edit, it says, hey, this wall is 8 inches thick and there's no material assigned to it. It's sort of just like a clay wall. Let's click in here and click this little button here. I want to show you something else. I'm going to X out of this and I'll come right back into here. I'm going to just click this little preview over here. This is a floor plan preview of what the wall will look like, right? Since there's no material assigned to it, it's just gray in here. So I'm going to click in here, click that little button. Now here's all my material choices I can pick from. I have a bunch of materials listed here, and for each material, I have a series of tabs over here. Okay, so I need to make my own material. Now I could look through here and see if I could find something that could work. Like if I click on wood stained, actually that's not bad because we do get the hatch in there. That would kind of look pretty similar, but it has some other qualities that maybe we don't want right now. This is looking for an image, but let's not worry about that. Let's just make our own real quick. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus down here, and it says create new material. I'm going to click that. It comes in as default new material. Okay, so I haven't done anything. I don't even need to select it because it's already selected. I'm going to go up to identity here. So there's 3 tabs associated with this new material. I'm going to call the name of this Perry Exterior. Exterior wall. Let's call it that. Okay. For graphics, all I'm really concerned with is the cut pattern. So right now there's nothing assigned, which means it'll just be white. Or yeah, it'll just be white or it might come out as gray. I'm not sure. So I'm going to click pattern here. And I have all of these to choose from. I'm going to go to diagonal up small. Let's do that one. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to hit OK here, which assigns this layer in here, this 8-inch layer, to Perry exterior wall. Here it is. That looks pretty good. I'm going to hit OK. And then OK one more time. Now if I zoom in, let's see what we got here. Change your settings of your detail of this view to fine. There it is. So that is the correct wall type. Let's check these. These are still generic 8-inch. So what I'm going to do is just hover over, hit tab, and change this all to Perry exterior. Okay. Now they're all that wall type. My drawing, my level 1 floor plan that's going to live on this sheet is really coming together here. Okay, I'm going to stop this video here, and then the next video I will do a window demonstration with a window schedule.